Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today you join me from the car park of Audi in Cardif Gate. Now I've been looking for a performance car for a long time. Obviously I've got the Evo and I've had quite a few cars over the past few years, but I really wanted something like the Evo which is going to stay around for a long time. Now I was quite particular on a car. I didn't want to buy something that's going to depreciate like a brick. I didn't want to buy something that's going to be a headache, which, let's be honest, Steve-O's never been, plain sailing. I wanted to buy something with a warranty that's going to hold its value and something that I can justify really paying, a good price for. So today I'm actually going to put a order in for a brand new Audi RS3. But if you are interested in this car that I'm going to be ordering today, and also my journey as I wait for it to be actually delivered, well, be sure to subscribe, and there's going to be some Audi RS3 videos coming up in the future. But for today, let's go inside, let's take a look at the demonstrator car they've got. These cars are in such short supply that these cars are actually selling for 25% more than their brand new order value. So if you want a car, an Audi, you're actually better off just buying it brand new and waiting for it to be delivered. You'll get a much better price. So I'm not going to be buying this exact car. This is a demonstrator, and they're actually not allowed to sell this car because they're in such high demand. There's no cars on forecourts for people to even see in person, but this is one of them, and Audi have told them they got to keep it here. And it probably worked out well for them because I saw it and I thought, you know what, it looks much better in person than it ever has on a video. So we're going to go and look at it. I'll show you all the features which stood out to me, and then yeah, I don't know, we don't really have a structure. We're going to just sort of take it as it goes. So let's go inside.
Change my fate, you won't understand it. All alone, that's okay. People I can't stand them. They don't want me to change, keep me where I'm standing. And I don't wanna be where I am. And I want something more, take a chance. It could be possibly my last.
So here we are in the Audi dealership in Cardiff, and they've given me the keys and they've allowed me to sort of just show you around this Audi here. So this is pretty much what I've ordered. There will be some differences with mine which I'll discuss later on, but we'll just sort of look around the car, and I'm going to point out some of the things that I noticed in person that I actually didn't even notice watching other people's YouTube videos. Now, I never really got on YouTube and looking at the car how aggressive this car looks. It is wide as anything. Now if we come down here, look at that arch. You could eat your dinner off that, it's so blinking wide. And then you come down here, those wheels, wide as anything with the red calipers. Now if we come round here, this colour really does give you a good idea for how wide it is. Now looking at that wing there, you can see a big vent. Now that's not just a fake vent, that's a real vent. What it does, reduces pressure in the wheel arch and basically makes the car just look awesome. So yeah, really aggressive. Complete change really from the old RS3, which is very, very subtle. Now if we look down here, got the wide arches, unique to the RS3, but something I'm an absolute sucker for in a car. Same with the Evo. There's a big fat arch like that. That looks mean. Now coming down the rear, again, it does not come across on some videos how aggressive this car looks. In person, it looks, you know, wide, purpose built. I think with the old RS3s, while I was a big fan of them, that was one of the things that's really put me off, was apart from the wheels and some colour options, it wasn't a massive difference in my opinion to something like an S3. But this RS3, big aggressive wing on the back. Now it does come in saloon as well. I am personally going to go for the hatch. The reason for that, if I wanted a saloon, I feel like an RS3 to me has always been like the top, the daddy of the hatchbacks. So that's really why I want to go for the RS3. Now we're going to go around here. It's got keyless entry, obviously, so you can just get in it, and as long as you've got the keys on you, you can get in. But look at that dashboard, awesome. Now I have seen a few people online saying they're not a fan of this steering wheel, they like the flat bottom. Well, it was news to me really that this is actually the top of the range steering wheel. Now when I took it for the test drive, I was chatting to the salesman in the back and brought my dad along, and I felt someone tugging the wheel. What it was, this wheel has actually got sensors in it, and it thought that I was actually going to change lane, but because I didn't put enough input on the thing, it thought I was actually drifting because I wasn't paying attention, and it actually just nudged me back into the center of the lane. So that was a really cool feature, and that's only on this steering wheel. So it's got all the sensors in there which dictate, or where they sort of read whether you're actually holding on and paying attention. If you have the flat bottom, you can only get that on the base model, which doesn't have a lot of the features, but you know, it's a nice looking wheel regardless. Now coming around here, we've got these lovely RS seats. Now that's Napa leather, so that's identical to the one that I'm going to order. Yeah, stunning seat, very high quality piece of, I don't know, what would you call it? Not fabrication, very high quality seat anyway. Now I'm not quite sure how I turn all this dash on without starting the car, but I'll get in a minute and I'll show you some of the other features which I really liked on the test drive. But it's just little things that made me choose this car over the Golf R. In the Golf R, you pop the engine bay, and it's just little things like there's no gas struts on the bonnet, so the bonnet weighs an absolute ton. And when you do open the bonnet, they could not have put any less effort into that engine bay. It's the most bland, boring engine bay ever. But let's have a look at this Audi in comparison, because this is about 20% more expensive than a Golf R. But I think, honestly, you're getting 5 times the car. Eesh, look at that. 5-cylinder, 400 horsepower from the factory. Now, these engines are absolutely phenomenal with a little bit of tweaking. But I don't think I'll be tweaking it while it's in warranty. But they do have a lot of potential. I'm sure I've seen online people can exceed 500 brake with almost no modifications other than a remap and maybe a downpipe. So beautiful engine bay, and you can see every little part of that engine bay thought and effort has gone into. I'll probably put a picture over now of the Golf R, and the thing with the Golf R is I took it for a test drive. It was a fast car, it was an attractive looking car, but it was just lacking in every single way in my opinion. Like the seats, the quality, everything. I just couldn't put my finger on it. It's like it was a half-hearted attempt, but this, whole different league. It's just little things like, look, if I want to get in, me being tall, the wife being short, it's so much easier to just press that little button there, push the seat back. This model doesn't have memory seats because it's not actually the top model. This is I think this is a launch edition. the one I'm going to be ordering today is going to be a Vorsprung edition, so that's like everything on it. Pretty much every option is standard. The only option it doesn't have is carbon ceramic brakes. Now I was considering actually having them on the car, which this doesn't have them either, but I was considering having them on the car. The reason I decided in the end not to go for them, it's not so much the cost of adding them onto the car, because you know, a car like this you will be paying monthly, so the monthly cost was not really affected drastically. But doing a bit of research, when it comes to actually replacing them, the pricing is absolutely astronomical. So yeah, I'm not planning on tracking this car. It's not necessary. So yeah, the steel brakes, that's the only thing I haven't really spec'd on it. So we'll go inside now and we'll take a look at the dashboard. Okay, so I've just started up the vehicle, and I gotta be careful I don't actually turn the engine on because we are in a showroom at the end of the day. But it sounds phenomenal, this engine. It's even got wastegate flutter and everything from factory, so they've obviously engineered it in. It sounds awesome. But just by pressing this button here, the RS button, if you look on there, it goes into RS mode. Here you've got all different engine modes here, car modes. So you've got efficiency, comfort, auto, dynamic, RS performance, and then down here RS torque, which obviously turns all the systems off and puts it into a rear bias mode, I believe. Quite similar to the Evo this is. It's got clutch packs in the rear diff. But on the test drive I took it out, and in the different modes you put it into efficiency, it's the valves and the exhaust shut, the suspension, the electric suspension goes softer, the electronic damper adjustment, and then the gearbox goes really, you know, into a low rev state. And yeah, just an awesome quiet car. Then when you put it into RS, the exhaust goes loud, it drops it down the gear, suspension goes stiff. So really it's like the best of both, you know, the Jekyll and the Hyde. The Evo's like maximum attack all the time. Whereas this, you know, you can drive it fast and you can take your family on a holiday in it. So that's just a quick overview of this brand new Audi RS3. This is not the car that I'm having. It's just a demonstrator vehicle. So I'm paying a very small deposit today, and then they're going to put my name on a list. They are reckoning about 18-month wait list for the Vorsprung one, so it's going to be a long time before it comes. But when it does come, I'm sure it'll be worth it. So I'm actually going to put my name down and order one today. I don't have to really pay for it until it's made. So yeah, just sort of going to keep my head down now, get the Evo fixed, and then we're going to wait for this car to be actually produced. So hopefully you enjoyed that little walk around. They are some of the main features that stood out to me as a potential buyer. And yeah, I hope they've, if you're looking at one, hopefully they're things that maybe you didn't see before, and sort of maybe they draw you to the car as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys.